After watching the video Surface Area to Volume Ratio in Biology, we should be able to understand some factors that affect surface area to volume ratio. So the types of things that affect surface area to volume ratio are going to be the shape, okay, and also the size. So what shapes will give greater surface area to volume ratio? Well, things that are tall and thin. Okay, so there's some people in tribes in Africa that have that are more adapted to the hot environments because they have greater surface area to volume ratio, allows for greater amount of heat transfer or getting rid of heat when it's really hot. Same with elephants. Okay, elephants have really wide and flat ears. Okay, that allows for really big surface area for the same volume and allows for a greater amount of heat transfer. So they're able to get rid of heat much more efficiently having these big, wide, and flat ears. So there are some factors that affect these things. So the other thing they talked about was cell size. So if something is really small, it has a greater surface area to volume ratio. If it's big, it has a small surface area to volume ratio. So there's a limit to cell size because if it's too big, there's not enough surface area for there to be transfer of nutrients and waste in and out of the cell membrane to be able for that cell to survive. So when we look at surface area to volume ratio and heat transfer, what type of things are what kind of factors do things in cold climates do to adapt themselves to the cold so they have less heat transfer? Okay, so they want to minimize the surface area to volume ratio. Okay, so the type of things that they do is they're smaller, more compact. So they're shorter and more compact. And the best shape to minimize surface area to volume ratio is the sphere. The sphere is most efficient. So if you want to minimize the amount of heat loss, you want to minimize the surface for the same volume, you would curl up in a ball. The more spherical the shape, the less surface area you have to release heat from. So to minimize, we want to make things more spherical. Okay, for the same volume, we can change the shape to more spherical to minimize the surface area to volume ratio. To maximize it, we want to have tall, thin, or flat and wide, and that will maximize the surface area for that same volume.